Thanks, Mary.
We're ready now. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Let's call the meeting to order. Can I have a roll call vote, please?
Yes, Valerie Massard,
Present?
Yolanda Spinola,
Present.
Allison Shane.
Present.
Thank you. And for staff, Mary Waldron, David Klein, and Megan Fournier. And Val, here is the accessibility statement.
This meeting is accessible to people with disabilities. Microphones or telephones will be used by all speakers. Large print materials are available upon advance request. If you would like either of these accommodations, please contact Mary Waldron at 508-583-1833. The Notice of Non-Discrimination Rights and Protections to Beneficiaries with regard to the federal Title VI non-discrimination protections and state non-discrimination protections is posted in this meeting room and is available on the Old Colony Planning Council website. Please contact Mary Waldron at 508-583-1833 for more information. Thank you.
Megan, just for the agenda. So I believe, Madam, or Val, if we can just do the minutes, review the minutes.
Okay, could I have a motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. And can we take a roll call vote?
Valerie
There's no
Massard.
discussion?
Thank you.
Okay.
Yolanda Spinola.
Aye.
Thank you.
Yes.
And then Allison Shane.
Abstain.
So I will take this next discussion, just because what we're gonna do is, you had seen through the information, we had shared this, but there was a couple things that got highlighted. I'll have David just do a quick summary of this, but the AAA nutrition budget had been, unexpectedly slashed, and the memo to this, but, David, just summarize without having to reread everything.
Sure, Mary. Hi, everyone. We received a letter in mid-July, and we had heard some talk about this a little bit earlier than that, but it was still a shock to see the letter from the Executive Office of Elder Affairs that basically froze one of our nutrition line items. And we haven't been told exactly how much is being cut, but nationally it's about $37 million. And in Massachusetts, I think it's several million dollars. So whatever it divides out to be, even if it's even if it's them taking away $30,000, $40,000, or $50,000, it's money that we're really would be surprised that we would be losing. And then on the national side, it also looks like the FY24 federal fiscal year 24 nutrition budget is also being slashed. So it's kind of a double whammy.
Thanks, David. And I think what I wanted to make sure is that this legislative committee, because the fact it does go to a federal level, I think what I'm looking before, I felt comfortable that I had the authority to do so, but because it does involve reaching out to our federal delegation as well as our state delegation. And as it said, the nutrition for our aging population, I don't know where their mindsets are, but I want us to be on record, and just hearing from the dialogue that all of you have said, either at this meeting or at our legislative breakfast, these are the things at least we need to not be silent on. So, so that's number one. We will craft that with, of course, your approval, but also David, through his network, through the organization, David, the aging.
Mass Aging Access.
Thank you. I know that they are actively, and you had shared at least what are they doing as an organization. So we're going at it in two different ways. We're going at it with many others, but then I think also just because so many of you have that relationship with your seniors and the aging population. So I just want to make sure that's presented. David, do you have anything else to add?
No, I mean, there's a couple other things legislatively in the state level that Mass Aging Access is very unhappy with, especially on the home care front. But the nutrition thing is just, as you stated, Mary, is just kind of a shocking thing.
So I would recommend, and I think it's more for affirmation, giving the authority for me to reach out. You as legislative committee members will be CC'd on it for when it gets sent. And I think that is the first action item that I would look for. And then secondarily, I would just ask for, once we hear from them, would this group be interested if they want to meet with us to be part of that discussion?
And that meeting would be with the federal delegation folks or their team?
That's correct. That's
Okay.
exactly.
Oh, go ahead, Phil.
Oh, I was just agreeing.
Yeah, I would like to make a motion to give you the authority to reach out to them and craft something. And then, yeah, following up in a meeting if that is requested.
I'd
I know that
second
was
that.
a long motion, but
And so Val, I know you seconded, Allison, or just because we can take a roll call if you'd like.
Yeah.
So Val Massard,
Aye.
Yolanda Spinola,
yes.
and Allison Shane.
Yes.
Right. So we will move quickly on that. And you will see, if not tomorrow, first thing on Wednesday, but we will move very quickly. Today's Tuesday though, isn't it?
Yeah,
Monday. Good
goes
Lord.
fast.
Vacation's not, I mean, it's just, anyway, and then we'll keep you informed as we move forward. So thank you for that support. And I think with this is new navigating and, again, I know I have authority to move forward without you, but I figured if we can pull these kind of meetings together, it brings you up to date, particularly with the impact. So thank you.
That's really helpful. Thank you.
Good. Again, we'll keep doing this. So the next thing is that, and this came from MARPA, the Mass Association of Regional Planning Agencies, and their legislative session. So it's ending July 31st. So it's coming up, and there are just some items. Some of them have been affordable, housing bond. We haven't really dug into the specifics of some of these as a legislative and as an organization, but I did want to share with you, some of the items that certainly that have come up. I think the permanent remote and hybrid meetings, certainly we want to be able to make sure. I want affirmation about that. That is something that makes us function really well, even as a day like today. So I would look forward to having us move forward to support this. So it says MAPC, just so you're aware, Mass Association, Metropolitan Area Planning Council serves as our legislative vehicle, if you will. We actually pay them to be our legislative, kind of keep their eyes and ears open for us. So I would recommend that we support this. The housing bond bill, actually, Megan, could you just scroll back for a minute? So the housing bond, the Affordable Homes Act, there are things that are in there, as you can see, the accessory dwelling units, Allison and Duxbury. I know that this has been something that Joanne Zigman and others have been talking about, fair housing. It is a little bit omnibus, right? There's a lot in there. And so as you can see, the last comment in here says MAPC prior to allow local option transfer fees was not included. So there's the conference committee bills that have gone through. So unless, you are my directors in terms of guiding, I personally feel, this is not an MBTA controversial thing. This is really more about different kind of housing abilities and bond authorization. So if you would like me to, I will weigh in with our legislators. But so let's start with that one, if there is a will of the committee members.
I'd support that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in favor of us, of you moving forward and connecting with them on this. And I think it's definitely a top of mind issue. I think we are in the middle of a housing crisis, so I think our voice matters on this. So please do.
I will. And Allison, just before I move on, I don't know, it's difficult, I know, because this was sent to you and really not getting deeper into it, but I will say that all of the rest of our regional planning agencies have supported this across the state. Again, it gives options for our communities. Doesn't mean that they have to, it's not being forced down anybody, but it's an option for expanding housing.
Yeah, I think in Duxbury, there's a little bit of concern about the buy right aspect of it. But that being said, I fully acknowledge the housing crisis and believe Duxbury needs diverse housing.
Thank you. So to move on, actually, Megan, if you can just move up, thank you. So we talked about the remote hybrid meetings, just again, from all three of you, if I can get off from affirmation, that we will weigh in on this. Again, they expire next March, so I would like it to be in forever.
Infinite, forever, yeah.
So,
I'm in favor of this. I feel like I agree with you, Mary. It allows not only OCPC, but every entity within Massachusetts that has to deal with government
right,
to do a lot more and a lot more efficiently. So I'm in favor of it.
I
Okay, so
second
do
that.
we needed to,
perfect. Thank you. And I think the one thing that I would like to do as a takeaway, Megan, is I think sometimes we just need to do a little bit of some training, but when it is a hybrid, we do have to have that option to having someone in the building. So if someone from the public does show up, so there's a little bit of some tweaking and training that we need to do, but anyway, we'll move forward on that. And then the FY25 budget. Megan, if you can just, thank you. Oh, the district local technical assistance. So this has been funded. We were level funded. And that grant assistance program, it was called GAP. At our legislative session, we talked about that there's a federal FFIO infrastructure office. So there was this office that was created by the governor. But they're doing a lot of things that we as regional planning agencies are doing. And they're looking for funding to do some of the things we're doing. So us regional planning agencies are having discussions with that federal office and also the economic development secretary. So again, the DLTA, as we refer to it, I know Duxbury through the age-friendly, but also open space plan. I know Kingston's received. Brockton has not been exactly engaged, but I think there's hope on the line there, Yolanda, for us to do more. But anyway, that's more just an FYI for you that we know that got funded and it's going to come out at least in an so it's $4 million for the district local technical assistance, and then I believe 3,000 for the GAP funding. And just to give a little explanation to that, those are funds that we utilize to pay Paul to look for grant funding for not only OCPC for our region. So so I don't really think I need an action on it because I think that's already been agreed upon. And the economic development bill, that had come out, all the amendments, and I know that that might be still, oh good, there it is. Bonding authorization, both versions, right. So I believe, yeah, conference committee had been appointed, so we're still waiting on that final version. This comes from Friday. Charlie attended a meeting since I was on vacation, and he was able to share this with us. So I think for us, I'm trying to think of any programs that, we work on MassWorks reviews, but we don't receive any funding for them. But MassWorks is a big program for both the rural communities as well as for Gateway City. So I did want to make a mention that there was the retirement legislation that we've talked about. That is Old Colony Planning Council and some of us regional planning agencies. It was not included in the economic development bill as an amendment. But we're waiting to hear back to see if where that may be in terms of the process. So at this point, there's no action at this point. And Megan, I think, is that it? Oh, then the energy siting and climate bill. So this again is a conference committee. This is really important in terms of, you know, where we're going with a lot of our different funding, where resiliency, MVP, the Municipal Vulnerability Program. So I will be weighing in with our legislators and just saying that this is really important, continue, and how it's utilized within our region. And again, when I talk about that, I will talk about experience, and I'll have all of you on the communication with that will be our state delegation. So that's what I have for you right now. I don't think there's anything after that, is there, Megan? Yeah, no, I think that was it. So that's the
Great.
update.
Thank you.
Thank,
Great.
yeah, thanks for the update and yeah, making it easy to understand. And yeah, some of these are, you know, sometimes pretty complicated, but that was a good spiel. I appreciate it.
Well, as you can tell, I utilized what MAPC did to help and why recreate the wheel, since they're doing it on our behalf as well. But so thank you, everyone, and we will move forward on these. And then all I would just say is, because it is getting to the point of the July 31st end of the legislative year, I may just send an email updating you about where these items have landed. Sometimes it comes in at 11:30 or 1 o'clock in the morning, but I'll keep you all posted as where we go with that. And then perhaps if something's needed in August, we'll be reaching out to set something up.
Great.
Great. Thank you all.
Is there any asks, I guess, Mary, like for other folks to help with advocacy on any of these topics, or is it really just like you all just like push?
No, I would welcome. What I would do is this, when I would probably send out the initial email, and you'll see who I send it to. And then perhaps once I do that, if there are some follow-up, because again, you know, you can see our list of legislators, we have, let's call it about 20 of them, Megan, right? Between Senate and state reps, maybe about 25, between 20, 25. Many of them are pretty responsive, right? Where
Mhm.
I have weekly meetings with Kathy Lenatra about the MBTA community. So that one's like an easy one. And, but I would say if you want to either, once I send the email out, if you want to either text me or just send me separately, say, Mary, I will follow up with A, B, C, and D.
Mhm.
That would be awesome. That would really be helpful.
Great. Yeah, will do.
That's a good question. Thank you. So the ask that I have of you
Just
would be-
like to let you know if,
Mhm.
yeah, if we want to do additional outreach or connection.
Yes.
Sounds good.
And I guess the other ask would be when we do set up that meeting with the congressional offices, to have you be participant on those as well. And we'll try to get as much notice as possible on that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I would probably
to
say, David,
participate.
at that time, when we do get that meeting set up, if there are other items that certainly is federal, that would be another time just to update them of some of the other issues, the advocacy part of it. Okay. Other than that, I think that's it. Thank you. I would look, Val, maybe if you could entertain a motion to adjourn if there are no other questions.
Yes. Is there a motion?
I can make a motion to adjourn.
Second,
And
And a
just,
roll call vote, please.
just a hand vote
Oh,
for,
hands.
right, that would be unanimous. Thank you all. And David, thank you. And Megan, of course, for coordinating everything for us here. Thank you all. Enjoy the rest of the week, and you'll look for the email when it comes from us. Thank you.
thank you
Thanks a
all.
lot.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.